India, a sacred land where God himself has descended time and again in human form. A land where the names of saints, sages and yogis are countless, and the tradition that began thousands of years ago still continues today. Among such great souls, one name shines brightly: Ramana Maharshi, a name as well known abroad as it is in India. The reason behind this worldwide recognition was his direct and simple wisdom. His presence carried such divine purity that by the age of 16, some began calling him God, while others referred to him as the Shiva of the South. Even animals and birds were drawn to his sacred aura. Bears, pythons, cows, monkeys and snakes would wander peacefully through his ashram, never disturbing anyone, quietly paying their respects to the Maharshi before leaving. On December 30th, 1879, about 30 miles from Madurai, in a small village called Tiruchuli, a festival called Arudra Darshanam was being celebrated. That evening, as the grand procession of Lord Shiva's image was returning to the temple, the cry of a newborn echoed from a nearby home. A son was born to Sundaram Iyer and Alagamal. Sundaram Iyer, a lawyer by profession, and his wife were both known for their devotion, kindness, and generosity. No saint, monk, or needy person ever left their home empty-handed. They named their son Venkataraman, one of the names of Lord Vishnu. Young Ramana spent his early years playing with friends and indulging in sports. He loved sleeping so much that once he fell asleep, it was almost impossible to wake him up. Being born in a respected Brahmin family, his father made sure he received the best education possible. But Ramana himself was never truly interested in studies. Mischievous by nature, he often got into trouble at school. Luckily, his sharp memory helped him pass exams with minimal effort. At this stage of his life, no one could have imagined that this boy would one day guide, not just India, but the entire world, toward the ultimate truth. At the age of 12, tragedy struck: the death of his father. His mother was left alone to care for 5 children. Soon after, Ramana's uncle took the family to Madurai, where Ramana was enrolled in a large English medium school. One day, at his uncle's house, Ramana met an elderly visitor. Innocently he asked, "Grandfather, where have you come from?" The man smiled and replied, "I've come from Arunachala." The name struck something deep within Ramana, as though he had heard it many times before. With great curiosity he asked, "Where is Arunachala?" The answer came, "In Tiruvannamalai." From that moment, Ramana felt an unexplainable connection to Arunachala, a holy mountain considered one of the most sacred in India, a place where sages and yogis had performed intense penance for centuries. Ramana became so drawn to it that whenever he saw a picture of the mountain, even on a calendar, he would stare at it for long stretches without blinking. Around this time, he came across a book about the lives of saints devoted to Lord Shiva. This was the first spiritual text he ever read, and it left a deep impression on him. By the age of 16, Ramana began to experience a fear of death. He wondered, just as others die, one day I too will die. But what does that mean? When a man dies, people say, "He has gone," yet the body still lies there. Then who is it that has truly gone? Am I this body, or am I something beyond it? These questions consumed him. If I am not this body, then who am I? Who am I? One day, to explore this deeply, he lay down on the floor like a corpse, held his breath, and turned inward with only one question: who am I? In that moment, he plunged so deeply into his inner being that he experienced a state of supreme bliss. the same divine consciousness that yogis strive for through years of meditation. He directly touched the eternal truth, the self beyond birth and death. When he finally opened his eyes, he felt a profound peace unlike anything he had ever known. For him, the world had completely changed. Pleasure and pain no longer mattered. At school, while other boys played games, Ramana would sit quietly with his eyes closed. At home, his presence became so silent that his family hardly noticed whether he was around. Every time he visited the great Meenakshi temple in Madurai, tears would flow uncontrollably from his eyes. On August 29, 1896, Ramana was assigned homework to write the same lesson 3 times. After completing it twice, he suddenly felt it was meaningless to continue. Setting his books aside, he closed his eyes in meditation. When his elder brother saw this, he scolded him harshly. "If you want to renounce the world, then go become a monk. Stop pretending to study." These words struck Ramana deeply. He realized that he had indeed been pretending to live his old life. Arunachala was calling him. He thought, this is the moment to leave. He told his brother, "There's an extra class at school today. I'm going there." His brother agreed and even gave him 5 rupees to pay his college fee along the way. Instead, Ramana left a note. "I have set out on a noble quest. Please do not waste time and money looking for me. Here are 2 rupees for your college fee." Keeping 3 rupees for himself, enough, he believed, to reach Arunachala, Ramana, at just 16 years old, left home quietly to begin his spiritual journey. What challenges did this young seeker face on his way? How did his family react when they discovered he had left? And how did this 16-year-old boy transform into a living saint, revered as God and Guru by millions? We'll talk about all this in the next video. To make sure you don't miss it, subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Stay healthy, stay joyful. Jai Shri Krishna.